Hello everyone, Pufferfish Pat here, or just Pat. Today we're checking out new Friendshape, Miss Vanrex Wolf. Their latest video, it is called My Chaotic Ride. I really like the thumbnail, has nice little monochrome and color and a staticky look. It's like right here, has like a static look. Kind of reminds me of, excuse me, a sort of a CC camera kind of deal. So, very interested checking out. First time checking out their content, so I'm very looking forward. As always, comment as we go, and if we need to rewind, we'll do so. But with that out of the way, let's get started.
Same sky, same gray, every breath just fades away.
I do like how it gets the quality of the camera. It gets clear as it goes.
Breath just fades away. Steps repeat on hollow ground, echoes with no real sound.
I just want to say their model looks really, really cool. I like the kind of I'm not sure how the term is casual, but I do like how the look is with a cap. It looks really, really cool. And I do like how they have, characters that has like really long hair. Looks nice.
Wake up, fall back in line, lose the feeling over time. Was I living here just there? Just a ghost inside the air.
That was cool. I really like that moment there. I don't know the actual term for it music-wise, but that was cool.
Just there. Just a ghost inside
Right here.
the air.
This is silly and stupid, but it kind of reminds me of the old, really is stupid. I'm not sure if it was an actual mainline game or just I think of Wario, where I think it was just some of the micro games, where it was one of the mini games where he has to escape with a treasure. For some reason, the way it looks like everything's collapsing behind her, it kind of reminded me of that, though she is much better to look at than Wario.
Every smile felt rehearsed, every day just like the first. No mistakes, no surprise, just a loop behind my eyes. No more pain, no more thrill, just a quiet endless still. Even dreams began to fade, like they were never meant to stay. Solid ground, I feel it now. There's a fracture in this ground. If this world will ever change, then I'll be the one who breaks. Wait. This isn't white. What if everything feels scripted? She moved where I know those anymore. Break the line. Step outside. Every room that held me tight, sudden in a flash of light. Now I see this was never meant to be. If perfection makes a case, won't burn it all and turn the
I like that line. That line was really cool. If perfection is occasion, burn it all down.
to be. If perfection makes a case, won't burn it all and turn the
That is very cool. That reminds me of, this reminds me of a very old quote. I don't know who said it, but it was called "Perfection is the antithesis of authenticity," and I find that so true. I think it's really more focusing on the constantly striving for "quote unquote" perfection will ultimately rob you of your uniqueness because you're trying to strive for something that is impossible and ultimately something that is not you. You're not going to be authentic if you try to be perfect. So that's a really, really good line there. Yeah, just if and perfection, and honestly, in a weird way, perfection really is a cage. It locks you in. And I do like how we have some really cool folks. Obviously, new friend shape here, but also folks like Mr. Feeble Mind, who really does a lot of playing with Suno and music. Just to, it's more complicated than what I'm going to say right now, but it sometimes feels like they're just throwing things at the wall, seeing what sticks, and playing. But I know there's a lot more work that goes involved. That's really playing down the hard work that they do to wrangle the program to create what it is they want to. And that really helps you find your voice. I am sorry that I'm not able to add probably a whole lot of commentary here. I'm not really good with, music and lyrics because I'm not smart like that. But I really do love the vibe in this video.
Every glitch feels bittersweet. Not afraid of falling through. If it means I'm something new, let it tear, let it bend. I don't need to pretend. Every crack becomes the start of a wild beating heart. No more silence, no disguise. I can see beyond the lies.
Actually, I'm going to go back to that line real quick. It's kind of silly going way so far.
Every crack becomes
that part, every crack begins.
the start.
And the lines change a little bit, but that kind of reminds me of this might be an actual quote, or I'm just lying, but it kind of reminds me of the saying that every crack is a potential new path that you can take. Really is kind of a road less traveled. I mean, let's be honest, sometimes the road is less traveled for a reason, but there is some benefit in taking the courage of finding a crack and pursuing that path.
Of a wild beating heart, no more silence, no disguise. I can see beyond the lies. If the world begins to break, then it's finally away. We're not offended, right? Feel the world go on inside. Every error, every fight proves that I am something more. Better is what I am made. Turn the dungeon to the light. If the system's destruction more, be the one who breaks it all.
Hang on, let's go back to the line real quick.
Be the one who breaks it all. If the system's destruction more, turn the dungeon to the light.
Turn the dark into the light. I like that.
If the system's destruction more, be the one who breaks it all.
So I didn't really quite catch that line before that. Be the one to break it all. I didn't quite catch that line before it. But I do like that, kind of like the idea of and this I know is cliche as all get out. I know that. But it reminds me of the saying, be the change you want to see in the world kind of situation. Like if you see that the world is breaking, well, be someone that can like the line before, not earlier. Be darkness, or I'm dumb. turn the darkness into light. You know, you can be that force to turn darkness into light. You know, instead of sort of like relying on expecting others to do it, you have the ability, you have the capacity to do it. To be an example. In fact, you don't have to be an example. Sometimes, if you can't be an example, you can be a warning. But as long as you're a chain, you have that capacity.
Thought I wanted peace, but peace was just silence. I thought I wanted control, but control was a cage. Maybe chaos is instruction. Maybe it's freedom. This is my world, I decide. No more lies I have to follow. Every sentence now is mine. No more renting, no more hollow. There's a fear, let it end. No more ever be the same. From the left I break away. Now go red, but fails every day. Same sky, but now it burns with color. Same way. Not as night like this.
That's nice. I like that little voice triple there. That's pretty neat.
Not trapped, not numb, just alive. What should I do?
I really enjoyed the glitch effects that are going on in this, but almost done. Even if the world seems like it's on repeat, only you can change fate with your own choices. And it kind of reminds me at work, when at the end of the day, I do joke around. Like I say it as a joke. It's like, all right, time to go, come back tomorrow and do it all over again. Because literally the job is the same day to day to day. And and that second line, only you can change your fate with your own choices, kind of, I'm sorry, forget there folks the Terminator, you know, no fate but what you make kind of situation. But this was a really, really good video. I enjoyed it. And I do like the whole idea of the excuse me, the that chaos, that it's you know, control is a cage and can be a cage, and chaos can be freeing. It kind of reminds me, and this is going to be a very, very, very bizarre, borderline stupid comparison here, but it reminds me of the true blue hero versus the anti-hero dynamic. You know, true blue hero, you have your, I can say Spider-Mans, you have Captain Americas and all that. And then you have your anti-heroes, you know, your Wolverines, your Punishers. I'm sorry, I'm not very well versed in DC lore. Outside of, I'll be honest, and again, so surface level, I really just know, you know, Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman, Flash. You know, like the, you know, it's very surface level as far as my knowledge of DC goes. In fact, even Marvel, like, even though what I mentioned in Marvel, I was like, yeah, it's pretty surface level too there, buddy. It's not exactly, you're not exactly going, you're not really in the deep end here. But let's stick with that. We'll stick with Marvel. So you have, you know, your true blue heroes. We'll use Captain America. and your anti-heroes. Which is nice, you know. You have, we'll say Punisher, for example. Okay. Actually, you know what? We'll go with Daredevil and Punisher because they actually have a more actual dynamic with each other. Daredevil's control, Punisher is coming on chaos. Here's what I find interesting about the two of them, and this is gonna be a very bad example because very bad example. I probably find you probably can think of two other characters that could fit this example better than I did. But I do like the idea that the True Blue heroes, their structure allows the anti-hero to do the work they need to do. Like they support each other. Like they kind of one supports the other in a way. Like how do you put it? Like the anti-hero has the ability to do the things that the true hero cannot do. But in turn, the true hero can also protect the anti-hero. So they kind of work together in that way. Again, probably silly, probably very stupid comparison, but that kind of reminds me of the dynamic between too much order being a cage and too much chaos just being, well, chaos. Finding that interesting balance between the two is very interesting. But this is such a great. I really loved. I don't know. I'm so sorry. I forgot your name. Miss VanRex's model. Super cool looking model. Thumbs up to that. And you did a really good job here. I really enjoyed it. And I do apologize. This is my very first reaction to you, and it's a bit if didn't live up to snuff. I'm not very good when it comes to music videos that are based purely on the music. I like focusing more on the visuals on things. I said before, I'm not smart. I'm not wise. I kind of just see. I see and feel. That's what I react to. But again, you did a great job, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing more. Can't believe I didn't do this already. Sorry. All right. But with all that out of the way, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Take care, and I will see you in the next one. All right. Bye.